Radiohead finally concluded their UK and Europe 2025 tour on the 16th of December. They played 20 shows across Germany, Denmark, Spain, Italy, and the United Kingdom. I made a video at the start of the tour breaking it down, so in case you missed it, check that one out. Regardless, today we will be breaking the tour down. Bassist Colin Greenwood mentioned before the tour began that they had rehearsed about 70 songs, and fans spent a lot of time and effort speculating which songs would be played or rehearsed. Throughout the tour, the band alternated between two main set lists, which worked as they played 4 shows in each city, so the set list would only be played twice per city. First, I'll be breaking down which songs were played from each album, and then I'll go through some other statistics, including the most played songs. But before I get into that, please feel free to hit the subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, let's get into it. Pablo Honey. The band's debut record did not have any songs played throughout the 20 shows, marking this the first tour since the King of Limbs tour in 2012 to not include any Pablo Honey songs. The Bends. The band played 6 songs from The Bends, which is half of the record. I feel like I should note that the band didn't play My Iron Lung, which is the second most played from the record, and Bones, which is the 6th most played. They did bring back Nice Dream, which was last played in 2009. OK Computer. Unsurprisingly, the band's third record was one of the best represented records on the setlist. Out of the 12 songs, they played 9 throughout the 20 nights. The only tracks that were not included were Electioneering, The Tourist, and unsurprisingly, Fitter Happier. These 3 tracks are the band's least played from the record. Kid A was also well represented in the setlist. Out of the 10 tracks, 4 were not played. Tree Fingers, In Limbo, Morning Bell, and Motion Picture Soundtrack, of which 3 are the least played from the record. Amnesiac. The sister album to Kid A had 3 songs played. Pyramid Song, You and Whose Army, and Like Spinning Plates. Hail to the Thief. The band's 6th record had 6 tracks played, with 7 not making the cut. With the exception of Where I End and You Begin, Sail to the Moon, and Go to Sleep, they are all the band's most played tracks. In Rainbows. In Rainbows had every song except for False Art and House of Cards played, though it is believed False Art was at least rehearsed due to an image leaking of the lyrics for the setlist. House of Cards actually narrowly beats Jigsaw Falling Into Place in terms of live performances, only by 3. The King of Limbs. Only 2 tracks were played from The King of Limbs, Bloom and Separator, the first and third most played tracks, but the Daily Mail, which is from the same era, was also brought back to the setlist. A Moon-Shaped Pool. 3 tracks were played from the band's latest record, Daydreaming, Full Stop, and Present Tense, which are the top 2 played, and the latter being the 6th most played. B-sides. 2 non-album tracks were played, of course the Daily Mail, as mentioned before, as well as Talk Show Host from the Bends era. Throughout the 20 shows, 5 songs were played at every single show. 2 + 2 = 5, of course Let Down, Paranoid Android, Weird Fishes, and You and Whose Army. The 2 set lists. As I mentioned earlier, the band had 2 main set lists they alternated between, both of which had changes throughout the run of shows, with only a couple duplicate set lists across the tour. Setlist A. Here's a graphic I made of Setlist A, just to visualize it a bit better. As you can see, they started their first show with Let Down, but it was then moved to the encore. Until about halfway through their London shows, it was moved to the end of the main set. The show on the 24th of November marked a lot of changes. Bloom was moved later in the set, Let Down was of course moved to the main set, Jigsaw moved to the encore, and A Wolf at the Door was swapped for All I Need. This is also where There was removed from Setlist A for the rest of the tour, which was a bit surprising for fans. For the final 2 shows of Setlist A, the closer Karma Police was removed entirely and replaced with No Surprises, which had its original spot filled with Nude. For Setlist B, there weren't as many changes. Airbag and the band swapped places after the first show, and Planet Telex was replaced with No Surprises. After a 3-show run, Nice Dream was replaced with Idiotech for the remainder of the run. There was a spot in the encore for rotated songs like The Daily Mail, Like Spinning Plates, and How to Disappear Completely. On the last 2 nights, Karma Police closed the shows, but curiously did not replace No Surprises. Overall, the alternating setlist was a really good idea. that I hope a lot more bands adopt, as it gives the audience a chance to hear rare songs and actually get surprises from night to night. Also, here's a graph for the percentage of songs played from each album night to night, for all you setlist data nerds. It seemed like the band really enjoyed playing these shows, though it may be difficult for them to tour next year, as Colin Greenwood is touring with Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, but maybe they can work something out. I look forward to covering Radiohead's future tours. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and check out some of these videos that YouTube thinks you may like. Thanks for watching.